Hey y'all, so you want to know everything about living in Athens, Georgia, where you can get to, what's conveniently located, and where you should position yourself if you're moving here? Well, I'm going to take you inside a Google Maps tour, get on the computer, show you around so you can get some really good context on that. Hey y'all, it's Winston Gibbs with Living in Northeast Georgia channel. I get calls all the time from people looking to move in 12 days or 12 months, and I'm here to help you figure out where the best place in Northeast Georgia is for you, whether you want to be Athens, you want to be in the lakes, in the mountains, or closer to the Atlanta area. Stick around and I'll show you one of my favorite spots in all of Athens at the end of this video. Let's get to it. All right, y'all. So here we have a look at what Athens Clarke County is and how big it is. Fun fact, Athens Clarke County is the smallest county in the entire state of Georgia. There's 159 counties in Georgia, one of the largest county counts in the entire nation. And so you can get places really, really easily, and you can move from town to town pretty quickly because of the size of the counties. Another fun fact about Athens is that it is the 5th highest population in the entire state, with over 130,000 people in the smallest county in Georgia, so hence it is a little bit densely populated. Now, one of the cool things, or one of the things I see with the time that I've been here, is that because of the business and because it is a hub of Northeast Georgia, you are going to see a lot of people who work on the outskirts and what a lot of us real estate agents call the greater Athens area, which I will highlight in this video. So let's get to it, show you some of my favorite places in Athens, show you where you can get to, why it is such a conveniently located place. Also, one more fun fact about Athens, it is one of those few counties that the city, Athens, and Clarke County are the exact same. So the city, the district, or the area in the border of Athens is also the border of Clarke County, given one little small part. So actually Clarke County includes Winterville here, which I can draw. So Clarke County actually includes this little bit right here as well. So let me show you some of the areas that a lot of people choose to live in if they're not in Athens, and we'll get back to what Athens has to offer. Right here through this area, this is Jefferson. Jefferson's the heart of Jackson County. A lot of people like to live in the Oconee County area right here, which borders. You're going to have the Barrow County area is over here. Then you got Madison County, a little bit more countryside over here. And then you have Oglethorpe, which is a lot of this area. So there's 5 counties that make up the greater Athens area. Jackson County, Madison County, Oglethorpe, Oconee, and Barrow. A lot of those people that work in those areas will come into Athens for work. Some of the people that work more on this side of Athens will drive into Atlanta. So now that we're mentioning Atlanta, let's talk about some of the conveniences of what Athens has to offer. Athens actually has its own airport, Epps Airport. It is a small private airport. I'm going to zoom back out, which is just on the east side of Athens. So one of the cool things for like UGA folks or business people that got to go in and out, they can take small planes in and out of Athens to get to different places or get to larger airports. Now they've talked about expanding that airport, which would be huge for the community to get maybe some commercial flights going. I know it's been a work in progress. They're having to build bigger runways for that. But going back to airports, I'm going to highlight Athens again. There's Athens. Now, Atlanta, as you can see, is not too far. Here is the airport, and obviously depending on the traffic that Atlanta has to offer, you can get there in 2 different ways, which is convenient depending on where you're at. So a lot of people will take 316 from Athens. 316 was actually created for, and then you'll connect with 85, come down that way. With no traffic, you're looking about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 25. The other route to go would take Highway 78 down here to Conyers and connect and get on I-20 and go that way. About the same distance. You're less likely to get traffic going this way to the airport. But it is super nice that you can get to the airport in just a little over an hour, and Atlanta being the busiest airport in the entire world, well, entire country at least, you have direct flights everywhere you want to go. It is a hub for business, for travel, for so many things. And it's so nice to have Atlanta that close to Athens. You can get what I call the benefits of the massive city, the huge metropolis, without being too far away. Also, if you want to get into Atlanta for some of the sporting events, such as the Braves, go Braves country. Any of you 90s folks definitely got to see the Ted Turner Braves and what they've done. The Braves are over here in this Smyrna area that I'm highlighting. That's the Braves. Then you can get to the Mercedes-Benz Dome, which is right here more in the center of Atlanta. That's also where the Hawks play. Mercedes-Benz is the host to so many events. I mean, you got the Falcons, you have the Peach Bowl for football, you have concerts, and there are just so many events. And so it's just nice to have all that happening within about an hour and a half of you. Obviously, you can get there and back pretty easily. You can get a hotel and have a little staycation not very far away. So Atlanta is a huge, huge plus with its proximity. Going on about other great things about the proximity of Athens and why it is so conveniently located. So I'm a big lake guy. I love going and visiting the lake and enjoying when we get hot, go cool down and enjoy that. So within an hour, you have 3 really, really nice lakes that you can go visit. First, and my personal favorite, is Lake Hartwell, actually where I grew up. You're most likely you're gonna go this way, get up to Lake Hartwell. That's about an hour depending on what part you go to. And actually Lake Hartwell is the largest lake, I actually missed part of it, the largest lake in Georgia, largest man-made lake in Georgia. Another lake, which we're gonna go over this way, this is Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier is bordering Gainesville and Beaufort and Dawsonville. It runs up what is Highway 400 coming out of Atlanta. Very populated lake, very, very popular. It's a lot closer to Atlanta, so you do get a lot more traffic. But from Athens, you can get there in about 45 minutes to an hour as well. And then the last lake that provides great proximity to Athens area is Lake Oconee. Lake Oconee is right here. This is Lake Oconee. It is a extremely popular area to go. They have been growing rapidly. One of the things, it's a great retirement area, and the golf courses, the Reynolds Plantation, there's just so much to do at Lake Oconee. Makes it a very desirable place to go visit during the spring or summer or fall. So those are the lakes that you can get to all within an hour of Athens. So zooming back in on Athens, Clarke County, and highlighting some of the different areas that we actually referenced in our last video. We're going to talk about the west side, downtown, normal town, and I'll kind of highlight a few of the other areas as well, and then some of my favorite things in town and what makes this a great location for so many different people. Let's state the obvious. If you look, we are north, south, east, and west. This makes up West Athens. This part of Athens is West Athens, which is where I actually live now. Been here for a few years. Was on a different part of town for a little while. Moved over here about 3 years ago. As we zoom in, this loop that goes around Athens is the Highway 10 loop. It is the perimeter of Athens, and when you get inside the perimeter, property values tend to go up. You're going to see a lot more congestion in that area opposed to the outside areas like the east side, the west side, and the north side. So downtown is where we started. The highlight of downtown is going to be UGA. Obviously, UGA is a huge part of the community. It is intertwined throughout multiple areas of the city. Right here where we're highlighted, this is the main North Campus quad. And so that's where the arches are. You're gonna have tailgating. This is the main downtown street. And there are so many restaurants and bars and places for entertainment to go in this area. Right here, I mentioned the Hyatt Place downtown. That is where the High Bar was on my last video or a couple videos ago. It's also home of the Classic Center and the Aikens Ford Arena, where you have events and you have concerts. You have so many different venues. But downtown Athens, this area is super amazing and so much fun. Always something to do. The Georgia Theater is going to be right over here. And again, smaller concert venues, but a very, very historic theater where concerts and performances have happened. And one thing you'll notice about downtown in the initial area, you're seeing a lot of student housing come in, huge apartment complexes, and you don't get a lot of, just one-room studios or houses. You're going to start getting that as you stretch away from downtown. Now, as we move from downtown into 5 Points, you can take the historic Lumpkin Street, and Lumpkin will meet right here in 5 Points. So I highlighted one of my favorite restaurants, Kelly's Jamaican Food. I love Kelly's. There's a little bit of everything to eat in Athens, which we will highlight in later videos. But 5 Points, this area through here, which I'm going to circle, really inside of Baxter, all the way over here. This is your main 5 Points area. This is going to be your highest price point houses in Athens. Now, you will see some places that have been renovated, very large houses. That's when you're getting into the $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Kirby Smart, UGA's head coach, lives in this area, if that says anything about it. Lots of professors. But you will see sprinkled in there, you're going to see some student housing where people have bought houses, haven't done a tear down, not a massive house. You're going to see a lot of places for students to rent because of proximity to the University of Georgia. One of the other areas that we referenced is the Normaltown area. So this area over here, again, downtown's this way. One of the great things is proximity to everything. So Normaltown is really all this area. Gonna keep going on this side of Broad Street, which is one of the main roads, Atlanta Highway, Broad Street, interchangeable. But Normaltown is one of your second highest demand areas and where people are going. Normaltown features a lot of variation. You're going to see little smaller properties. You're going to see some big teardowns, a little bit of new construction in the area. But overall, there's not a ton of new construction in Athens because of the size of the town. Everything's been built out for the most part. One of the other things that I mentioned that I highlighted in one of our last videos was the proximity of some of the hospitals. Athens has some great hospitals. You have the Piedmont Regional Healthcare here, large regional healthcare center. They can do about anything. I know when my dad was going through some health issues and other friends, even from an hour away, Athens is going to be the regional hub for healthcare, which makes it a great spot because, again, if you're looking to retire and you want to make sure you have those medical needs covered, then Athens is a great spot. Another great hospital here, right off of, close to Normaltown, is the St. Mary's Healthcare System. St. Mary's is a faith-based hospital. I know they have locations all over the Southeast. I need to double check if they're national or not, but I know tons of people who've gotten care at St. Mary's. My family has before. I personally had care at St. Mary's. And so the hospital system in Athens is really good. Like, with the research comes out of university, there's just so much benefit to having those services around. Again, one of the places I mentioned in the last video, I haven't gone and done a neighborhood vlog yet, but we will have one in the future, is the east side of Athens. So any of this side over here is the east side of Athens. Here is where you're going to get more of your neighborhoods, traditional subdivisions and neighborhoods. You're going to find a lot more bang for your buck on the east side. One of the things that gives the east side a little bit of a bad rap, even though I loved it, was that it is a little bit farther away from all the downtown area here. You know, if you're living way out here on the east side, it may look like a long way, but really one of the awesome things about Athens is it is a 15-minute town. You can pretty much get anywhere in 15 to 20 minutes. Traffic, there's a couple places where you can get locked up at some of these intersections here when you get off of the perimeter that surrounds Athens, the loop 10. But for the most part, you can get anywhere really easily. You can always use some back roads to get there as well. I love the east side. I used to live on the east side for a while. There's some really good things happening on the east side of Athens that are going to bring more value to that area. Barnett Shoals College Station. This is where a really old Kroger grocery store was. There are some restaurants, tanning beds, other businesses in this area, but they have begun the construction of a massive super Kroger, which is going to have everything. It's going to rival those like Walmart superstores and those type of things, the little higher end experience. Probably more similar to your Publix's and I love Kroger. I will miss the old Kroger because when I lived on that side of town, the ladies at the deli were always so sweet to me. They would take care of me, and man, when I wanted to get the meat in two sides, they would absolutely load up my plate, even though I probably don't need it. But that is something that's bringing a lot of value and is going to help attract people to the east side with a nice new updated grocery store. Another thing that is going to help, Wire Park is a new development that is just growing rapidly. It's actually not in Athens proper, it is in Watkinsville, but Wire Park is a huge bonus to what we call the Athens community and what you can get to in Athens. From downtown, it's only about 20 minutes. What is Wire Park? Wire Park is an old wire plant from the 50s that has been converted into a multi-use space. So now they have offices, they have apartments that are being built out there. There's breweries, there's restaurants, there's other businesses, there's fitness centers. Wire Park is, if you're familiar with that Atlanta area, similar to like a Ponce de Leon, and shopping center, retail, food, just a great, beautiful mixed-use place. You can see over here, they've done concerts out there, basketball programming. They have something called the Yard, and even the Oconee County Library has moved out there. So Wire Park is a huge plus, and being on the east side allows for closer proximity to Wire Park. So going back to Athens, we're on the north side of town, is also one of those areas where you don't see quite as many people growing. There is more room, a little bit more land, and the north side is one of those areas that is a lot like the east side. It doesn't get as good of a rap as maybe inside the perimeter or the west side of Athens, but there's a lot of nice pockets on the north side. If you want a little bit more privacy and you want some of those true subdivisions, you're going to be able to get it on the north side of Athens. There's also, a couple years ago around here, they built one of those super Krogers. Actually, it's around this area, which is really nice. And it is a nice plus, so you don't have to go into town to get stuff. One of the last things I'm going to highlight about Athens before I get to what is one of my favorite things in life, as you are probably going to see by all the portraits on the back, is our location to a little bit of everything depending on what you enjoy. So I'm going to zoom out. If you look, I'm going to pull Athens down to the bottom. If you're really big into nature and hiking and that kind of stuff, so we have parks all over the place. There's Sandy Creek Parks here, Sandy Creek Nature Center. There's a lot of stuff down in the Watkinsville area. The Botanical Gardens is massive and beautiful. There are parks all over the place, but if true hiking is your thing, then as we come in, as zoom out just a little bit more, this area of North Georgia is the base of the Appalachian Mountains. Helen, this little town right here, which I'm going to highlight or circle, Helen is a beautiful German town, but it is at the base of the Appalachian Mountains. So you can go up. There's mountains called Blood Mountains. There's Currahee Mountains. There's Tallulah Falls. There's Mount Yonah, all through this area. So this whole area, starting about right here and going up, starting about right there and going up, that is the base of the Appalachian Mountains. I've hiked many of the mountains, done trails. They're great. You can have some advanced trails. You can have some easy ones. But that is only about an hour to an hour and a half to get to some really good mountains and see the beautiful nature that it is of the Appalachian. The fall is absolutely stunning when the leaves change to get a good hike on a crisp, cool day. And then when you get done, come down and get some good mountain food from the locals. So the mountains are easily accessible if that is one of the things you're into, is hiking, maybe mountain biking. You want to take it to the next level and you want to do more like snowboarding, but you don't feel like going out to the West Coast, then up here is Boone, North Carolina. And that's just a short, I know it's a little longer, but if you just want access to snowboarding, you can get some East Coast snowboarding at Sugar Mountain in Boone or Beach Mountain in Boone, North Carolina, only about 4 hours away. You get into some of those other areas of North Carolina, but Boone, North Carolina is up there. We're going to keep the geography going out and say why this is just another, again, why it's a great place to live for your proximity to a little bit of everything. Savannah, Georgia, a beautiful, beautiful historic town. There's so many things to say about Savannah, but Savannah is only about 4 hours away. And then as you start getting into this, the Golden Isles coast of Georgia, 4.5 hours, and you'll get some of those beaches and the beach access that is, you can go out and tan, you can enjoy the kids, take kids for a trip. Charleston, you get into some of the fancier, nicer beaches like Charleston and Myrtle Beach, which is going to be right over here. Myrtle to Athens, Charleston, Savannah, and then even into North Florida is only about 4 to 5 hours driving time to get to the beaches, which is extremely, extremely convenient for some of your outdoor activities. The last thing that I want to highlight, again, because I am a huge golfer, is that Athens is an amazing, amazing golf town. I'm going to show you on the map where some of these golf courses are with both public options and private options. So one of the most well-known courses in Athens is Athens Country Club. So it is inside the perimeter. It's right there. It's just outside the perimeter. Proximity of Athens Country Club. This is going to be your most exclusive club in Athens. Old Donald Ross design. They got 3 nines. They just did a massive renovation to the clubhouse, and it is quite the treat to play the Athens Country Club. Another private club in Athens, which has a very close proximity to town, is Jennings Mill Golf Club. So this is where I'm actually a member, and I play most of my golf. Jennings Mill is a championship style golf course. They've hosted multiple Georgia Opens, amateur qualifiers, college tournaments. They used to be the home of a nationwide event. Jennings Mill is a great golf course that I love. It's extremely challenging, and there's some beautiful real estate in the neighborhood. The cool thing about Jennings Mill is also part of it is in Clark County, part of it is in Oconee County. Now we're going to step just outside of Athens proper, and we're going to go to the Georgia Club. So the Georgia Club, not affiliated with the University of Georgia, is from downtown or from the east side. It's only about 10, 11 minutes from Jennings Mill. You're looking at about 20 minutes from downtown. If you're on the east side, depending on where you're at, you're 25, 30 minutes away from the Georgia Club. But it is also a beautiful private club. They have over 800 members. There are 3 nines. They have the pool. They have the tennis courts. They have everything you can imagine. The restaurant is absolutely fabulous. Great golf out there. We've seen a lot of amazing junior golfers come out of that area. Now, those are some of your private options in Athens. Some of the public options for golf would include the University of Georgia course, located right down here. University of Georgia Golf Club is absolutely stunning. UGA currently has more guys on the PGA Tour than any other school, and part of it's probably because of this golf course. It is extremely challenging. It can be very long, but you have other options. They have a wonderful driving range and practice facility that anyone can use. You can go chip and putt for free. You can go get range balls. It's a beautiful setup there, but this is open to the public. One of the best deals in town is their Saturday dogfight. You can go in, play a little tournament action, and for a discounted rate. If you're an alumni, or employer, they have alumni memberships that they also offer. They also offer memberships to the public, but if you're an alumni, you get some really good discounts. Another public facility just within a short drive is the Lane Creek Golf Club in Watkinsville. It is an extremely fun, short, great place for kids to learn, or if you're not an advanced golfer and you're worried you're going to lose a lot of golf balls, Lane Creek is the spot. It is the most affordable golf in town. Lane Creek, super fun. I've played many tournaments out there. And then that's only about 25, 30-minute drive away. And then I'm going to highlight one more up here in the Commerce area is Double Oaks. Probably the best bang for your buck. I've played a ton of tournaments out there when I was a kid. They used to offer I don't think they do it anymore. They used to offer a deal. You paid your age up until you were like 25. So for kids or young professionals, man, it was a great deal. But Double Oaks is a great golf course to get started. There's some beautiful houses in that neighborhood. Forgot to mention Lane Creek has some great properties as well. And they're still building new stuff out there. But Double Oaks, great golf course. And then there is rumor of, well, it's not a rumor now, but it is actually happening over here in the Hull and Colbert area, which is technically Madison County, but in that greater Athens. They are building the roads. Some of the guys like Bubba Watson, Kirby Smart, Hudson Swafford, Kevin Kistner, a lot of the guys who went to the LIV Golf Tour have decided they want to build the premier course in Athens to rival some of those places in Georgia, like Ohoopee Match Club, like Atlanta Athletic Club, Eastlake, Augusta National. So over in this area, they're building an extremely private club. I've heard the initiation fee is going to be over $250,000, and the lots are selling for over $750,000 on the course. But it is going to be a celebrity-packed place to go in the rows. And there is another last thing about golf. The last little rumor I heard was, I need to double check my facts, but way out here in Comer and Carlton, the old famous Kenny Rogers used to live in this area, and Kenny Rogers had his own private golf club. Now, I've never seen it, I've never played on it, but I heard that it is still in existence. Kenny Rogers no longer lives there, but there is another golf course out here in the middle of nowhere, which is exclusively for the person that took over the Kenny Rogers property. But anyways, that is all I have about the Athens area for today's video. If you want to know more about Athens and what all the amenities are that are available, the entertainment that's around, the golf, the lakes, real estate prices, you need to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications, and I'm going to keep you up to date on everything that Athens has to offer. So thank you again for coming on that Google Maps tour. If there's more that you want to know about in proximity to Athens and what it has to offer, feel free to shoot me a message. And if you want to keep up with the latest on real estate, what's happening in Athens, what's happening in Northeast Georgia from Atlanta all the way up to Lake Hartwell, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to get notifications, and I'd love to help you out if you're looking to move to this area or transition from different parts of Northeast Georgia, which in my opinion is one of the best places in the entire world. I'll talk to y'all later.